this, Dr. K. It needs to sink deep. Yeah? That we really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being a blessing to us.
Amen.
So Dr. Karen is an obs gyna, and so I am inviting you to send all those questions. Hey, you ladies. Okay, even men, by the way, could be asking for your sister, your mother, your wife. Yeah, so send in those questions regarding your health as a woman, because she's going to be answering them. But before we do that, I will allow her to say hello because it's a new year. Hi, Dr. K. Happy New Year.
Hi, Sharon. Happy New Year. I'm so excited. This is, like such an amazing thing to always see you here.
Thank you.
Also bubbly and beautiful.
It's your smile that is infectious.
Asante. Yes, I'm Dr. Karen Muthembwa, a resident in obstetrics and gynecology at the University of Nairobi. My work is basically to see women, or both who are pregnant and the ones who are not pregnant, any issues that they have, and also, of course, some men who have fertility issues, not the structural bit, but that part that needs medication. So yes, that's what I do. I work with the youth as well. I'm very passionate about the young people, about women of reproductive age group. My passion is basically to teach, to eliminate and prevent disease, especially gynecological.
Amazing. There's something she does on Instagram, by the way. What's that? Okay. Let's do this so that we don't talk about that now here.
Yes.
How about you share your handle so that people can follow you there?
Yes, my Instagram handle is K Muthembwa. I also started my foundation, so you'll find Dr. K Foundation also tagged on my Instagram account.
Awesome.
Yes.
Dr. K Foundation. I want to ask what that is about, but we'll talk about it at some point.
Yes.
So last time you were here, we had a very, very interesting conversation. And I was just telling you it caused such a stir. And we were talking about menopause.
Right.
And people were informed, people were surprised.
Yes.
It was a mixture of all things.
Yeah, I am surprised also, because menopause is such a, it's a stage, it's not a disease.
Yeah.
Women tend to go through it without knowing what they should expect, or people just despise, menopause. They say, it's just menopause. Maybe she's angry, maybe she's just feeling a certain way, but it is something, when a woman is going through menopause, they're going through something. They're going through changes in their body. They're going through emotional changes. This is the time probably they're having some issues with their partners or their husband, so it's something that we rarely talk about, because we're in African tradition, we're like, that's okay,
Yeah.
But sometimes it needs actual attention, not just physically but also emotionally. People need to talk to somebody, to help them, and also counseling about their marriages and all that. So it is a big topic which we didn't even do justice. We should do another one.
We should do part two, right?
We should do another part two.
Awesome. Thank you. And by the way, my people, feel free to request if there's something you really, really, really feel like we need to talk about with Dr. K. Just go ahead and tell me, and we will of course give it a consideration. All right. So today we want to talk about healthy or tips to healthy living. I mean, how can we live better health-wise as women, but even generally, because I know there are men that are listening to us, even for the men.
Yes.
How can we live better? The year is fairly new.
Yes.
But though we are setting resolutions and goals and things like that.
And some of them have been forgotten already.
Oh my Lord have mercy.
I hope people are still going to the gym.
Are you talking about me?
But though it's not just you, even I haven't. I said I always go to the gym really, but this year, at the beginning of the year, since I'm doing my exams as well, so I haven't gone to the gym. So my gym guy keeps calling me and telling me, you still have to go to the gym because it's still part of your life. This is not it's the way you eat food, it's the way you sleep, the way you gym. You should still come back. So yes, I'm also still having my resolutions on board.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about some of these things that we can do or not do.
Yeah.
That will help us live better.
Yeah. Health is very important. I mean, without health, we cannot be able to do things. We're not able to create even wealth. We're not able to have relationships with people,
That's a quote.
Right.
Yeah,
right. Without health, you cannot be wealthy
wealth.
without health, right?
I like that.
Yeah. And that's the most important thing. The baseline is that you have to be okay to be able to do things and live life. Because again, health is the one that gives you life, So basically, I would just say, health is a lot of things. It's not just one thing. It's not just physical. It means physically you're okay,
Yeah.
mentally you're okay, emotionally you're okay, spiritually you're okay,
Right.
economically you're okay, that's still part of health.
Yeah.
So and the fact that you don't feel something does not mean that you're necessarily healthy. In the case of people who are just okay, I'm fine, but you've never really you don't keep your body active, you don't do that, doesn't mean the absence of health does not, of what looks like is health does not mean that you're healthy. So it's a very important topic where we need to remember that for us to be able to live fully, to live happy, we need to keep ourselves okay. So basically physically, keeping exercise, eating healthy, mentally keeping joyous. Even in the Bible, I always believe that the word has all the answers that we need in life. So it says a cheerful heart is good medicine, right? That's the answer to treatment to some of these things. So you need to keep cheerful. And by the way, even things like depression, anxiety, all that is incorporated in our health. So, well, it's a long topic, but I'm sure, most people want to know about reproductive, but reproductive is part of physical, mental, and all these other things. Yeah. So yeah, it's important.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you gave us a very very important points. You put them all together.
Yes.
So I don't know if you can help us sort of now narrow down or break down. Let's come to now physical health, reproductive health.
Right. Okay. So I'm assuming most of our people are listening because they are either ladies who want answers about their reproductive health. So our reproductive health really depends also on generally how we are, the whole body, For us to be able to reproduce well, we need our body functions to be perfect. And this comes down to the cellular level. We're talking about the cell. The cell is the smallest unit that you can divide a thing, from organs to tissues to cells, and then in the cells, the other small things inside that cell, For them to work well, they have to work together so that they can be able to make the cell perform well. And then, of course, the tissue and then the organ and the whole body. So when we go to the cellular level, we're talking about the energy that's needed in that cellular level. We want the hydration that's needed in that cellular level. So energy meaning that we have food, food is the one that provides energy. And it's very important for a cell to have energy for it to function at its best. Think about your brain cells. Your brain is consistently thinking, consistently doing something. So it needs these cells in the brain to be perfect so that they can work as a unit. So we're talking about which foods are good for your brain, for your whole body. Things like fresh fruits and vegetables, they have micronutrients that really give your cells the nutrition that they need to function at their best level. Things that contain antioxidants, when I talk about if you're waking up in the morning and you're having your breakfast, what is the antioxidant in that breakfast? The vegetables, they contain particles that are antioxidants in your body. Things like green tea is very good for you. Sometimes we always think that if you take milk and all these things, it's just you don't really think about what you eat for breakfast. I want people like the ones who are listening right now, from Dr. K actually.
Right.
This is the message I'm passing, that you can actually decide to have a healthy meal every single time you're sitting down to eat your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner, and you can actually plan it throughout the day instead of binging on the fried foods and all these kind of processed things, because we don't think about the after effects later in life. So just think about it. When you're sitting down to have your breakfast, do you have your fresh fruits and vegetables there? It can be kachumbari, by the way, kachumbari, and maybe an egg, a boiled egg preferably, because fried, again, it contains oils, and then you have your green tea, or you have, you can have that nice coffee in the morning without the milk, or you can use plant-based meals. I'm always for plant-based, as I always say. I'm not for animal foods, but yes, I still do eat some of them. So yeah, you can have very, very good, you can decide to have good food every day, and that will help you with your moods as well. Not just physically, it will help with just the way you feel in the morning. How awake do you feel in the morning? That glass of juice can you imagine? So I'm just creating a picture of how you can make it fun to eat healthy. You can have that juice in the morning, or even at lunchtime you can have that small piece of lean chicken or lean meat and vegetables on the side, and then in the evening you have that salmon is you can have some salmon here and there, or like this. Of course, that's just fancy, but just, create your foods in a way that you'll enjoy them and they're still healthy. At the same time, remember to still have a fruit during the day. An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
It's not just a saying.
Not just a saying.
Okay.
And by the way, it will not put me out of business.
Right.
It will not put me out because you'll still come so that you can keep yourself healthy. We don't want you to be sick. We want you to come when you're still healthy. And that's the happiness of all doctors, by the way. We don't wait for sickness. Right. Okay. So that's food at the cellular level.
Okay.
You still need oxygen. And you know why? Because you still need the energy we produce. We need a lot of oxygen. We need oxygen. We have the nutrients together, and they are supposed to help each other with those processes in the cell. So of course, breathing is important. Why I'm talking about breathing is because it gives you the oxygen you need in your cells. Sometimes you wake up in the morning, if you feel depressed and you don't want to leave the house, you're at a state where you're also not necessarily experiencing the best experience of what life has to give. That means oxygen and the air we breathe. Sometimes we always say that if you can just open the windows, breathe in that air, that only even in the morning can really, really change your moods as well. So we need that oxygen. Breathing exercises. When you do exercise, even physical exercise, it helps you breathe and it helps you oxygenate your cells. And this helps your cells work to the best, things like water, water cannot be really overemphasized. I know people say, we say water 8 glasses or 8 bottles a day. Maybe we are promoting a water company. No, you don't have to promote a water company. You need clean water. All you need is clean water. Either it's boiled or sterilized, or it's for sure you're getting it from a bottle company. It's as long as you have water. Water is important for this oxygen, nutrients to work at the cellular level, hydrate the cell, make your skin glow, that kind of thing. And it's all encompasses, it encompasses the physical, So at the cellular level, those are the 3 main things that you need, of course. To make your physical body work well. And the exercise still, again, will help this cell be more active because it is functioning faster so that it can also clear out the waste and bring in the new.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe we need to say, Dr. K, that you must not go to a gym, right? For you to do exercise.
No, you don't have
to. We scare people off.
No. You don't have to go to the gym. By the way, even skipping rope or even acting like you're skipping the rope. You know the way you skip without a skipping rope?
Yeah.
Yeah. For 20 minutes a day or even count up to 500. Go 100, 200 the next day, up to 500. I'm telling you the difference it will make as compared to if you didn't do any exercise at all. It will be astounding. I have experienced it myself, because we are human also. We feel the same things that everybody feels.
Right.
Being a doctor does not mean that I don't experience this kind of things. So I know that the energy that exercise can really give to somebody, and not just physically, but also mentally. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's about physical. You talked about the cellular level.
Yes.
Are we advancing?
Yeah. We can advance,
Okay.
We're talking about the cellular level, but that's the basic of what you need.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but when you're talking about, from the cell, we go to the tissues. Tissues, it means it's a part of an organ. Okay.
Yeah.
Like the way the brain has different tissues. It has nerve tissue. It has the matter, the brain matter tissue. Or let's talk about the liver. The different tissues, when they come together, they make the organ. So all that, they also need to be, like they have tunnels. I don't know how to put them like tunnels, like blood vessels are like tunnels into an organ, and then there's small semi-tunnels that go into that organ and nourish them. These blood vessels need hydration. Hydration, the same reason as to why we need them in the cells, but things like what we bring in can affect those blood vessels, which transfer the important nutrients to your cells. For example, if you take too much fat diet, then it goes and blocks those blood vessels. And then what happens? You block the pathway of the nutrients and the oxygen into those organs. So think about the liver. So if the liver is not getting enough perfusion, I like to use the brain because it's, it's a mastermind of everything that's happening in our bodies. If it's not getting what it requires, then what's going to happen to the cells and the other tissues in that organ? It does not function well. Some might die. So you find people forgetting things very fast, especially with age, because the blood vessels are now changing because of the diet, because of not keeping active.
Okay.
So you get things like, and if you're eating things that are less of antioxidants, so you tend to have a lot of toxins in your bloodstream, in your body, in your brain. And
what are antioxidants?
Antioxidants, these
And
are
what
just
do- and
molecules.
What do they do?
Okay, so I'll give you an example. Like vitamin A is
Okay.
an antioxidant. So there are different types. There are vitamins. There are some elements. Like the way you say magnesium and zinc. All those together, they work against or to remove toxins.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. They remove the things
Okay,
that are not
makes
good
sense. Yeah.
in
Remove
your body,
toxins is
right?
good. Okay.
Yeah, including even things that make people develop cancer cells. Yeah, so these particular ones are gotten particularly from fresh fruits and vegetables. And that's why we cannot say, and it's fair. This country, it's cheaper to eat vegetables than to eat, or is it the other way around?
No, that's
yeah?
right.
Yeah,
I think
because
that's right.
that's why Skuma Wiki is Skuma Wiki, because
Right.
it pushes the weak. Yeah, that Skuma that Skuma has a lot of. It has a lot of important nutrients,
Yeah.
and yet it can really push the weak.
Right.
I know chips has become cheap, and that's maybe
It's
that's
not
a
cheap
pun
these days, by the way.
It's gone up. Yeah, I think even
It's
the
gone
cheaper
up because-
the fairest is 150.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone
and
up.
It's really little.
Or it's less, So I think we can be able to alter, to change what we are eating to, rather than the fatty foods, and switch to healthier meals. And it only takes you to decide to do that, because no one else is going to change it for you. You're the one eating.
That's right.
You're the one swallowing, only you can make that decision. Yeah. And it has to start from here. If you really, really want to change how you feel, if you feel like you're draggish, you're tired, it means then your blood vessels are also not probably taking the right nutrients to the cells. Why? Because of the different things that you're doing. Maybe it's that food that you're eating that's consistently fatty, and it's possible to reverse these things. That's a good news.
Right.
You can reverse these things. Try a whole plant-based diet a whole week. Yeah, I am not advocating for any plant because I don't even but try it for actually 2 good weeks continuously. And especially my sister was telling me about a fast they're doing this from January. It's called the Daniel fast. Yeah, I didn't know about it,
Yeah.
but I thought I was plant-based. But she told me, she doesn't even eat roasted potatoes. Now me, I can still eat the roasted potatoes. She doesn't do that,
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that's interesting. And there's a reason why Daniel did it. And that brings, the context of the Bible being very real to us,
Right.
So try it for 2 weeks. Try the Daniel fast for 3 weeks. At the same time, pray and declare the things will work for you. And then you see the changes in your body. So if you're feeling draggish, fatigued, then there could be something wrong, You might have tests done and you're okay. But if you're feeling down, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling anxious, sometimes it comes down to the things that are circulating in your brain, or the things that are circulating in your body that are making you feel that kind of, And by the way, even depression and anxiety, we only say that you are depressed and anxious when we rule out other conditions. Okay, so if we rule out things like problems with the brains, we have to check whether there's any other issue that could be. Even thyroid function can cause anxiety, can cause depression. What else? Cortisol. If you have an issue with the adrenals, all those things, they work together sometimes and they can affect your mood. Menopause, we said. We have to rule out before we say, for sure, this is clinical issue. Like, we can't explain it, but you have it. Okay, so look at your diet first. Try the change it for 3 weeks and see, because I want something. I'm sure you want something that will be sustainable. Something, sustainable in terms of economically, whether you're enjoying it or not. But you can always make these things in a way that you enjoy them. And I said you can still have your lean meats. It's still fine, because Kenyans, even my home, we are always eating meat, always. But you can make it more enjoyable. Yeah. So that was across the organ, and I think generally the whole body, and especially the reproductive area. People with PCOS, and this is what
PCOS is
polycystic ovarian syndrome or disease.
Okay.
PCOS has, we don't have an exact reason as to why someone develops PCOS, but we can see that it's attributable to certain nutritional factors, certain things in your body. Like if you're obese, then the possibility of developing this PCOS is there, you see that it's associated with diabetes as well. So it's all in the things that we're doing which are affecting our organs, like the ovaries and the pancreatic system, which now you have this kind of a syndrome that's causing a flare up in your body. You're now you're having an inflammatory reaction. You're having acne, you're having hair growth in places that you shouldn't as a woman, So those are the things. Now, from diet only, you can actually improve the symptoms of PCOS. Just from diet.
Oh.
Just from diet.
Interesting.
You don't even need medication. You can decide to do diet and lose at least 5% of your weight. 5% is not little, I understand.
It's
not little. It sounds kidogo, but it's not little, but it's possible. Nothing is impossible.
Right.
Yeah, nothing is impossible. So when it comes to also other things like fibroids, fibroids are very common in our setup, and most women wonder, why is it happening to me? Maybe my mom did not have it, or they had it later, and now it's happening to younger women, younger and younger. Actually, the youngest I've seen so far is 25.
Wow.
With massive fibroids. 25. Ovarian cancer. We have an 11-year-old with an ovarian cancer. So some of these things, even if they have a genetic background, the genes are usually activated by the surroundings also. Okay. So maybe if you were to develop the cancer at 40, God forbid, because of the genes that are in the family, which is a mutation still, which mutations can happen because of nutrition, environment, and all that, and exposure to things like radiation and sunlight. Now that particular, if that person is supposed to develop it at 40, now they develop it at 20. Why? Because of the changes. What are we eating these days? In the old times when we were existing, but our African tradition, they used to use more of very complex carbohydrates, not simple carbohydrates.
Talking about sweet potatoes and
arrowroots.
Cassava.
They used to eat at TCG. Now those things used to be boiled, not fried. And then there's the vegetables you used to pick and then eat meat. So the meat used to be grass fed, not kept there and given medication, antibiotics, and all that kind of thing, So they were eating a healthier diet. So that's probably why there was less deaths earlier. People would probably die because they were fighting a lion or, unfortunately childbirth, but still even then, childbirth was normal. Everyone was giving birth normally. But now look at the times. We've changed our diet. We've changed, we are always inhaling fumes. So there's environmental pollution, which we may not be able to control. We're constantly under pressure and stress. So our bodies are just constantly overworking in a very stressed environment. And that's probably why we develop things like the fibroids and the PCOS and all these other reproductive issues, fertility problems, even when there's nothing being seen, so because you're not ovulating. So those are the things that now we need to look into ourselves. Just look in look at your environment. What are you eating? What are you really coming back from you're leaving the house at 5 a.m., go take a matatu, you're exposed to fumes and noise is not even the good noise. It's noise of music that does not fulfill you or improve your thoughts or improve your feelings. They actually probably worsen. And then you reach late because there was traffic, and then you're at work and the boss is not happy with you, or you're the boss yourself and your workers are not making it because you're not making the money at the end of the month, so you're not making money with the waking up at 4 a.m.
Right.
every single day. You go, and now because your husband and your wife is waiting for you at home, you pass by the pub because that's the only thing that makes you happy, because the children are at home making noise, the wife is angry with you, you know. So all this is stress, environmental pollution. There's a lot of, you know, just not very good. So it's good to look at yourself first and see, stop, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
What am I doing?
What am I doing? What am I
Yeah.
doing right? What am I?
Right.
Because there's obviously something you're doing wrong, and there's something you're doing right. What is that thing you're doing wrong that is really, really making you be where you are right now?
Right.
And most of it will be from your diet and from your whether you're even meditating and prayer. It's because we say meditation helps you in terms of your thinking and what you know, how you feel for the day. But we forgot that still came from the Bible. Meditate upon the word day and night, so that you can observe to do what is written
Right.
therein. So it's there. There's even yoga, all those things. It's from the word. So I believe that all these answers, we have them there. So the small thing that you do in the morning when you wake up in the morning, breathe that air, open the windows, do that prayer, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, start with 2 minutes, start with thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is one of those things. Give thanks in all things. It
Yeah.
helps you in your life,
Yeah,
So that already your mental health is,
Right.
you're set for the day. You're not thinking about your problems. When you transfer your problems to another place, which is you put it, just leave it, because you cannot change it at that moment. Leave it to God. What else can you do? You can't be anxious for it. Leave it to God. Then concentrate on what is good.
Right.
Gratefulness
Okay.
is one of the most important things. So I know we've talked about so many, maybe physical and a lot of mental,
Yeah.
because I think that's what's really affecting a lot of people right now, and not just people who don't, who people who look like it, but there are also those ones who don't look like it, who are going through
Yeah.
the same issues.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Karen. Probably we need to say that what maybe just to send forth a clarification so that we don't throw some people off. Dr. K was not saying that yoga is from scripture in that sense. That
Yeah.
no.
Yes.
She said meditate on the word of God
Yes.
day and night. That you may be
Yes.
careful to do. All
Yes.
that is written in it. Okay.
Yes, so that
please
you can
don't
have
get us
good
wrong.
success.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
was referencing, the thing about meditating and the importance of it. Meditate on God's word. Sawa, my people. Don't get it wrong. Okay. Sawa. We just have a few minutes before we take the news. And thank you. You did it so much justice. And I know that people have taken down the notes already. But we also have people that are sent in questions. 0717400555 is our WhatsApp number, and you can also get us on 20933, which is our text line. And just before, if we could probably answer this quickly, Dr. K, before we take the news. This one says, good morning. It's interesting you've talked about PCOS. Is there a scientific explanation? Because if I take gluten, my periods become irregular, but if consistently I go gluten-free, they are regular. Good conversation, she says.
Yeah. And that's a very good example of what nutrition can really do. Gluten is a content in wheat most of the time. And there are people, and especially if you're having PCOS, you're already having inflammation happening a lot literally in areas of the body, and then gluten has that ability to increase that reaction. Your body reacts to the gluten, so when it does that, now it destabilizes all these components, and that's why she has her irregular periods. Yes, and it's one of the things we tell people to stop, or if they can be able to reduce the amount of gluten they're having. It really helps with improvement of the symptoms of PCOS. We actually tell them also to increase vitamin D supplementation, which has been seen in some PCOS patients that it's on the lower side. So that's important. I think she should continue doing the gluten, but also add vitamin D to the mix.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Remember, you can send in your questions and comments on 20933, which is our text line. You can also reach us at Hope FM live across social media, and our WhatsApp number is 0717 400 555. Dr. Karen with us in studio, ready to answer all those questions that you have regarding your reproductive health. We are going to be back in just a short while. Don't go away.
Hope FM, another quality service from Christ, is the Answer Ministry.